I was recently on a coaching call with a young man who was telling me that he needs help with his social skills. He needed help because he was like fearful, scared, and nervous when in like any kind of social environment. When he had to talk to people, he would start shaking. He'd be kind of stuttering all the time. Couldn't get his words out. Generally fearful when in a general social environment. When he had to talk to another human being, okay, he was fearful and scared. And I had a lot of empathy for that young man because I've been in that situation myself. When I was younger, anyone that knows me knows when I was very, very young, I was a very unconfident kid. I couldn't speak to anyone really. I had basically no social skills whatsoever. I was generally fearful and nervous when in a social environment, when I had to talk to people. If when I was in school, the teacher used to kind of pick on me for to give an answer. I would be literally, I would literally be shaking. I'll be honestly shaking under the table. And then when I was having to give my answer, I was stuttering. I was like, couldn't get my words out. It was like I froze when in those social environments. And so I understand other young men that actually have that issue. And it does get you down, bro. And this young man was saying the exact same thing. He was saying, it gets me down because I feel like, I can't, maybe I'm behind on getting opportunities for myself in the world, because at the end of the day, bro, you have to be able to talk to people. You have to be able to communicate with other people effectively in order to gain opportunities in this world. Okay, to go and getting jobs, going attracting women, making friends, just generally as a whole. You want, in order for your life to be as good as it possibly can be, in order for you to gain the most out of life, you need to be able to talk to people. You need to be able to thrive in social environments. And if you've not even got you've not even got it down at like a basic level where you literally are fearful when in a social environment with, you're just simply talking to another human being, okay, that's just like you're scared of that and you're fearful of that, then it becomes a big problem. And I understand the feelings that anyone who has that is going through, because I've been there. Like I've said before, if I was to talk to anyone, if just a random person on the street was to talk to me, I'd be scared, genuinely scared. I don't even know why. It's like these thoughts and beliefs that we have a lot of the time don't even reflect physical reality. It's not a reflection of anything we've been through. It's not maybe it is, but also a lot of the time, in my case especially, it isn't. So it's almost like a very irrational thought and belief. An irrational preconception that we've got of the world. So yeah, it's a very tough one. But with this young man, I walked him through the entire process. I told him exactly what he needs to do in order to fix this issue, because I've done it myself. So I told him exactly the things that I did. It's a process. It does take time. It doesn't happen overnight. But if any of you boys do actually have this issue where, boys or girls, if you've got this issue where, you feel fearful when in a social environment, you want to improve your social skills, okay, then there's a link in my YouTube bio, okay, or my Instagram bio. It will take you to a page. There'll be a tab that says one-to-one coaching call. If you book a call with me using that link, okay, then I'll walk you through the exact process on how to improve your social skills, so you can stop being fearful when in a social environment. You can be confident in yourself. You can be confident to go and talk to anyone that you want to go and talk to, okay? So if you want that, then book a call with myself, okay? But I thought, to be honest, boys, I thought it was actually it made me realize it's actually quite sad, isn't it, that we as humans, and a lot of us, feel genuinely fearful to talk to another human being who's just basically the same as us. We're all the same. No one's superior to anyone. Yeah, there are people with more money than us. There are people with more status than us. Everyone's on different levels of, I guess, success. But as human beings on a very biological level, we are all genuinely just the same. So to be scared and to be fearful of actually interacting with another human being is genuinely quite a sad thing. And it's got to this point, and I think it's all genuinely come from social media. I genuinely believe that that's what's happened. I think we're living in a world now where everything's digital and we all kind of stuck to our phones, and the baseline interaction with another human being nowadays is generally through text message, through Instagram, Snapchat, whatever. And I'm a victim of this myself, a lot of and that's probably potentially what it was back in the day, when I've grown up with this. I've lived in this generation where we've had phones and we've had social media kind of improving and growing, and therefore that's the way we interact. We're on Instagram, we're on TikTok, all that stuff. And that's how we interact with people. So then when we go out into the real world and we have to go and interact with an actual human, a physical human being, okay, we don't know how to do that because we're not comfortable and we're not used to doing that. If you're not comfortable or used to doing something, you're naturally going to go into some sort of fight, flight, or freeze mode where you are probably just going to freeze in that scenario or run away from it or avoid it because you're not comfortable in it. The human mind loves comfortability, okay? It loves to be comfortable. So if you've not experienced that, if you've not done that, okay, if you've not been out into the real world and actually experienced what it's like to interact with human beings very often, you're not gonna seek it. You're gonna avoid it. You're gonna just freeze if you're in one of those environments. And that's exactly the thing that happened to me, and it's quite often the case with many other young men and women, okay, who can't actually talk to other people, who get nervous, who get scared when in a social environment. So the one thing that I would suggest you all do, if you've got this, if you've got problems with your social skills, you get scared when talking to people, you're scared to make new friends, you're scared to talk to strangers, you're just generally fearful of that overall aspect of life, then get off social media. Get off social media as much as possible, because all that's happening is that you're allowing yourself to have the only interactions that you have with other people over a screen. Therefore, you're not showing your true, authentic self. It's not you. It's a phone. You're talking to a fucking phone, bro. All right. So get out into the real world and talk to actual people. That way, that's the only way you're going to become comfortable and confident in interacting with physical human beings. Okay. Sorry. It's the only way that that's going to happen. And it's the only way, that's how I did it. That is the main way that I did that, okay? It was just simply going out and talking to people. Going out and becoming comfortable in doing that thing. That's like anything, boys. If you want to get good at anything, you have to just practice. You have to just go and do it. It's like if you want to gain big muscles in the gym, you have to train over a long period of time to get comfortable in doing that. You get comfortable in the gym, and then you're gonna be confident to keep going and keep going. If you're gonna talk to a person out into the real world and you're going to do that over and over and over again, the more likeliness is you're just going to get comfortable, okay? You're going to get comfortable in talking to random people. Therefore, that fear, that nervousness, that general feeling of fear when you talk to someone is going to be completely gone, because you're used to doing it. Your brain is now comfortable with that thing. So if anything, it will go and seek that, okay? Rather than trying to avoid it. So it's all about repetition. It's all about going out and just actively doing it. It's all right. You sit in, you can sit there in your comfort zone and say, "Oh no, it's fine. I don't need to talk to other people. I'll just, I can do it on my phone. I'll sit here and I'll keep texting people." Fine, you go and do that, bro. But you'll be the one that gets left behind when you need to go out and into the actual real. If you need to go out into the real world and you need to find opportunities for yourself, you're not going to be able to find these opportunities if you can't communicate. A lot of the times, opportunities in life come from being able to talk to people effectively, and come from having the confidence to talk to random people, reaching out to people, networking with people. This is all physical social interaction. Now, yeah, I understand a lot of the world is online. A lot of the time, online communications with people can be beneficial, but why would you want to only go down that route and limit yourself? Why would you not want to have all aspects covered? Why would you not want to be able to communicate online and also be able to communicate effectively in person? Because there are scenarios in your life where you're going to have to interact with someone in person. It's the same with dating. This is why the dating market is so tough now, because a lot of young men are just like robots and they don't know what to say to a girl in real life, because all they've ever done is sat on social media texting people on their phone, all right? You're not able to go out in the real world and be comfortable in interacting with an actual physical girl, okay? You're constantly fucking like DMing them and shit. Like, just grow up. Go out and talk to girls in real life if you want to get good at that area of life, okay? That's how you're going to get comfortable and confident in talking to girls in real life. Because at the end of the day, bro, even if you message a girl online and you're good at messaging online, you're going to have to eventually go and meet her in person if you want to actually want to get anywhere with this girl. You're not going to be able to just have an online relationship with her, because what's the fucking point in that? You're going to have to go meet her, and you're going to have to be able to have the necessary social skills in order to attract this girl in real life. So you need to literally just go out and do it. You need to go out and talk to real life girls in order for you to become competent in that area of life. You're going to become a more well-rounded man if you just go and do that. If you just go out and live life, go and do things in the real world rather than on your phone. Put your phone away, bro. Get rid of social media and go out and experience physical reality, because physical reality is the best teacher. All right, boys? Never, ever, ever limit yourself to just only social media, because all it's going to do is just wire your brain to be comfortable with everything that's online, okay? You've all become bots. Young men nowadays, you see them, you go into the nightclub, you just see a bunch of guys just sat there, just in the corner, tensing the jawline, got all the card, or they just stood there, not doing anything. It's so embarrassing, bro, and this is what social media has done. It's not even necessarily these guys' faults, but they don't realize that this is what's happening, is that social media is literally keeping them comfortable with online interactions. So therefore, when they go out into the real world, they are not confident or comfortable in that environment. So they just freeze and they don't know what to do. They don't know what to say. They don't know when to say it. They don't know how to handle general social interactions. So we've all just, most people have just become robots. Girls are like it as well. Girls are fucking boring. They just, they're all, everyone genuinely is a bit of an NPC, and I don't want to come on here and start spreading hate around, because I'm not trying to do that. I'm not trying to target people and be like, everyone's just everyone's fucking shit at social interactions. I'm here to try and help people, but I just want to spread the message of like, try and get off social media as much as possible, okay? Because I understand this issue. I've been through it myself. I understand how painful it can be. I understand how hard it can be. And I want as many people, especially young people, to get out of this habit of just being on social media constantly and having that as their baseline interaction. I want everyone to fix this issue, being able to talk to people, be able to be happy, to be able to be confident, to be their authentic self out in the real world, to be confident to initiate a social interaction with anyone. So we can all kind of, everyone can kind of be more connected that way. Because when you walk down the street, a lot of the time you'll make eye contact with someone and they'll just kind of look away. Everyone kind of ignores each other because no one's even used to actually talking to each other. No one's used to having physical, real social interactions. And that's kind of what the modern day is, and it's a sad reality, and it has made me realise that is generally just the sad reality of it. But if it can get changed, if we can fix this, if we can kind of try and flip it around, even a small community of us can try and push this message and get people fixing this issue, get more people fixing this issue of no social skills, like I did for myself, okay, all those years ago. And now, I'm able to confidently speak on camera. I'm able to confidently speak to anyone in the street. If I see a random person in the street, I can just, I can strike up a normal, general social conversation with that person and hold it for a long time. Okay, I've developed the ability to kind of be in a subconscious social flow mode whenever I want to be. All right, I'm not having to think about what I need to say. I can just do it because I've done it so many times. My social skills have improved, my speaking skills have improved, and that's because I've put in the work, I've put in the time and effort to improve this area of life. It's, social skills at the end of the day is a skill, and to develop a skill, it takes practice, it takes work, it takes time. It's not going to come overnight. You need to acquire the right knowledge and then put it into action, and then you will see the results. It's as simple as that. Okay, boys? So I hope that was helpful. Take that on board. Get off social media. It's going to fucking kill you in the long run. Trust me. You need to get used to being out in the real world. All right, boys? I hope that was helpful, and I'll see you in a bit.